Hello, welcome to Dreamin' Jacks. I'm out in the woods. I came out here with the intention of shooting a video regards to something that Pascal and I have been talking about, and was going to kind of start to wet the whistle with regards to what that project is going to be, but then I thought, you know, actually no, let's not do that, because it's proper juicy and I think that it needs to be held on to for a little bit, and I haven't spoken to Pascal about doing a video about it, so I thought, you know, let's not bother. So what's the channel about? What's it about? It's about the exploration of consciousness. It's about creating cinematic videos and talking about and interviewing people and sort of getting to grips with this psychedelic state of mind. There's a deer over there. I'll get another one later. This channel is all about the psychedelic experience, the psychedelic state of mind, and trying to piece together the whys and what-fors of consciousness and the conscious experience and altered states of consciousness, and what happens in altered states of consciousness, and is there a kind of does it gate access to something that we have long lost, forgotten, or something that is, you know, within our ability all the time, but we've, through societal changes and, you know, persecution and kind of the dumbing down of society, have we forgotten? Have we forgotten? And then, so actually today I was going to talk about why I haven't had a psychedelic experience for a long time. I think the last psychedelic experience I had, even though we've kind of planned it and organised it many times, we've never followed it through. And I just wonder what that is all about. The fear of the experience, tapping into the fear of the experience, and maybe using that fear for the next experience. And anybody that sort of tells you that they don't fear a breakthrough psychedelic experience is bullshitting, because it's so alien, it's so otherworldly, it's so out there, that the very thought of sort of being ripped out of your body and your consciousness flung across the other side of the universe is a fearful and frightening thought. It's terrifying. It's beautiful at the same time. There is beauty in the terrifying nature of it and in the chaos of it, and I think that's, for me, is one of the aspects that you have to just embrace. It's that process of letting go into the experience. That is one of the healing aspects of it. And so I'm going to talk about why I fear it, what fear has come from, and there's a horse coming. So I'm going to stop there, come back to you shortly. So the horse he's just passed, and where was I? So the fear, why haven't I partaked in the psychedelic experience for quite some time? I suppose the old Alan Watts statement of, you know, if you have got the message, then hang up the phone, plays a part in it, because for quite a long period of time, we were having these experiences on a regular basis, and we went very, very deep. And I always remember Joe Rogan talking about reality can get quite slippery, and actually for a time reality did get quite slippery, because you are so overwhelmed by this new, it's like a baby being born. You've been born into this, you've been baptized into this new level of reality that you didn't even know existed, and with that the floodgates open, and you me personally, I spent a lot of time thinking about it, a lot of time, more time than I should have actually, because to be grounded is important. So you spend a lot of time thinking about the experiences that you've had, the entities that you've seen, this just the absolute wonder and terrifying nature of this experience and that place that you go to, that you kind of let go of the important things in your life, and this is our life. This is where we are. This is where we live. This is what we have to pay attention to, and you can very quickly fall off the cliff if you don't keep your eye on the ball. So I suppose one of the fear factors is worrying potentially about going back down that path. And like I said, going back to the Alan Watts analogy of once you've got the message, hang up the phone. So I've had the experiences, I've had many experiences, I've travelled very deep into my own subconscious and deep mind state, altered states, alien state, other dimensional states, and I've had the, what's the word I'm looking for, the revelation that this other place exists, and is that where we go when we die? Is it on the way to where we end up after death? Is it, what is it? But I know it's there, and that's kind of now deep within my psyche, that this space and place is there, and it is far too complex. We look at the complexity around us, and then you really kind of see what complexity is in these spaces. And have I had the revelation, and thus now my ego is saying, you're aware of it, you've been there, you've seen it, do you need to go back? So that possibly is where the fear bleeds from. I do want to go back, because I also think that there's another level to these experiences, that through controlled, prolonged exposure, are there insights to gain? Are there insights to gain? Are there insights to gain through prolonged, entry into these spaces? Are there benefits? I think yes. I think you're going to learn more about who you are, and when you think you've learned enough about yourself, you're going to learn more. And I think there's something to be said for kind of the control or delete aspect of the experience, the way that you can kind of, the brain almost resets itself, and you can delete and get rid of junk, and because you build up shit from your everyday life regularly. You have situations that arise with people, and you harbour lots of post-stress from situations, you know, and it's a way of resetting that and maybe looking at those situations in a different way. It's almost like, maybe it's something akin to where we're going to go with artificial intelligence, where you will have this assistant, be it to start with on your mobile phone, like ChatGPT. ChatGPT 5 comes out very, very soon, by all accounts, according to Sam Altman, this year. That is going to blow GPT-4 off the map, and you're going to have this kind of assistant that will do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Maybe the psychedelic experience is similar to that. Maybe you can use the psychedelic experience as a personal therapy session. So I'm definitely going to go back in again soon, but there is fear. There is a lot of fear, and all of the guys that I have these experiences with, we're also the same thing. There's fear. We all want to do it, but there's fear involved, and everybody kind of follows their own path and moves through life and takes different turns and so on and so forth. And you've got to find the right time and not to worry too much about it, I think, but there's definitely fear. So I fancied explaining that a little bit. You know, this is a whole learning process. It's a long road of living and using these natural medicines around us to enhance our lives and to create new connections in the way that one looks at the world and the way that one looks at one's life, one's death, one's children, one's relationships, one's environment. I can honestly say that I've never had a negative. Some of the experiences have been terrifying, but they've all resulted in positive outcomes. And you look back on it and you kind of think, okay, you know, yeah, you've crossed the T's and dot the I's. And so staying grounded is important, but I think also the need to go back in is looming, because there's only so many DMT reports we can tell you, right, without actually having had a recent DMT experience. So Pascal and I are talking about working on a project together. It's amazing. It's going to be amazing. It's really kind of synchronistic in the way that I've been thinking about tying in the UAP, the psychedelic, the artificial intelligence, the paranormal, tying everything in together, and kind of I've been pushing towards some way of thinking about this stuff. And then Pascal contacted me and said, look, I'm thinking about doing this. Do you want to do it with me? Do you want to film it for me? Do you want to put it together and edit it? And obviously, who am I to say no? Pascal is a genius, and what he's got put together so far, and already the sort of efforts that he's going to later on this year to find some people to interview is just like, I'm not going to be able to get in touch with those people. He is, and obviously he's a very articulate young lad, super smart, so this thing is going to be wicked by the sounds of it. And that's enough of that for now. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I know I've posted for a couple of weeks. We're back on the regular. Like and subscribe. Dreaming Jags, rolling into the summer. Phenomenon experiments coming up. Things are going to be